Hi, my name is Robert Oldani. I'm a professor of musicology at Arizona State University. I've returned to some themes that I began to develop quite a number of years ago here in these past few years, and I'd like to tell you a little something about where this work has been taking me. For many years I've been interested primarily in Russian music of the 19th and 20th centuries and in opera. I've done work with Musorgsky, I've done work with Borodin, with Verdi, but there have been a number of topics that I've been gathering notes on, gathering material for, and kind of putting back on the back burner against the day when I would someday finally finish those projects and finish those essays. Well, that day finally came about 2 years ago. I thought this is a wonderful opportunity to finally synthesize all these notes that have accumulated over the years. And I've been working on a book on Musorgsky, a book entitled tentatively Musorgsky Occasional Essays. We begin with a short discussion, an introductory discussion of the composer's life and his career, and try to place him in the context of his time. I have developed a great deal of information about his colleagues, some of it fresh, and try to give them a new perspective as well. One of the most exciting things for me has been the extraordinary material that I found concerning censorship of opera during the imperial period. We can trace it all the way back to the year Bach died, 1750. We find censorship regulations issued in Russia for the very first time during that year. They were enforced, depending upon the whim of the Tsar, either very stringently or not too terribly stringently, throughout the 18th and 19th centuries. And they had extraordinary implications on opera. For one thing, Rossini's works weren't always done exactly as Rossini had written them, because the text, as translated into Russian, commented in ways on the libretto, on the story of the opera, the situation in the opera, in ways that could be read as an allegory of contemporary political events. Works that had been approved in one context were disapproved in other contexts. As an example, Mozart's La Clemenza di Tito was staged and performed with considerable success in 1817. But in 1826, just after the Decembrist revolt that brought Nicholas I to power, when the same work was once again proposed for the theaters, it was rejected on the grounds that it could be read as a plea for compassion for the Decembrists who had been arrested. There are a number of other chapters that explore themes in Russian music or Musorgsky's life that haven't been so thoroughly explored in the literature before. For example, one chapter just recently developed was on unexpected influences in Musorgsky's music. We find some pieces of his, one early student work that seems to owe a tremendous debt to Schubert's great C major symphony, and one quite late work that seems to owe a debt to one of Beethoven's songs. Moreover, I've got an entire chapter on the song cycle Sunless, another chapter on the songs and dances of death, a chapter entitled Kovanshina, a primer, an exciting opera, Musorgsky's other historical opera, that has had relatively little written about it up until now. It's been a fun project to carry along while doing my teaching at ASU.